Very good Tuesday evening to you. Welcome into another edition of the Brent Key Coaches Show and one last ride with you this Thursday in Atlanta. It is the home finale for your Yellow Jackets. They'll look to give one last victorious send-off at Bobby Dodd Stadium at Hyundai Field as they take on the North Carolina State Wolfpack. Tome East Leather. Thursday is at 7:30. Of course, last time we joined you at Bobby Dodd Stadium, the number 4 team in the nation went down, and the goalposts went down with it. What a day it was on a homecoming Saturday as the Yellow Jackets become bowl eligible with that 28-23 win over number 4 Miami, but now looking for the follow-up, and with that a chance to do something that hasn't been accomplished here at Georgia Tech in 25 years. We'll tell you about that in a moment. Plenty to get to over the next 60 minutes, and we are so glad you're with us tonight on the Georgia Tech Sports Network. My name is Andy Demetra, and we are live tonight for the first time this fall from Hattie B's in West Midtown, home of their legendary Nashville hot chicken. Get yourself a great meal and get yourself an hour of Georgia Tech football talk with the head coach of the Yellow Jackets, Brent Key. Without further ado, let's welcome him in, a man who I believe knows his way around a Scoville level and certainly knows his way around a field storming, as we saw a week ago Saturday. Head coach for your Yellow Jackets, Brent Key. Coach, how are you? Good to see you tonight.
Yeah, I love hot chicken.
I bet you do.
Wings.
What is your heat tolerance?
You know, I think it used to be higher than it is now.
Okay.
Never mind.
Yeah, we're not going to. I don't want to tempt fate tonight because the last thing anybody wants to see is you doubled over on Thursday night because your intestines are kind of in revolt. Bit off a little more than you can chew.
In 48 hours?
It takes a while to run its way through your system. I'm just saying.
Not a chance.
Okay, well, you're a hardy guy, and you certainly led a hardy effort.
Do I look like somebody that wouldn't enjoy hot wings and hot chicken? And
you would enjoy quite a bit of it.
I love fried. I think depending on I do a brine.
Okay. I like that we're 2 minutes into the show. We're already talking your brining recipes, but I like this. Let's go.
Boneless, skinless thighs, overnight, and then deep fried.
Okay.
In my own special batter. And yeah.
If you can't cook that up, you got Hattie B's here ready to feed you.
One time I did. I had a bunch of the players over. It was the O-line, tight ends, running backs, and then the quarterbacks and receivers. Basically, the offense came over. This was several years ago. We did 800 wings.
Jeez.
16 pounds of brisket. 4 huge tins of potato salad. 4 big tins of mac and cheese. A lot of chicken thighs.
Okay.
I was probably 30 pounds of chicken thighs, but then the best one was my bacon-wrapped Oreos. That were smoked bacon-wrapped Oreos.
Okay. You had me at bacon-wrapped Oreos. I hope the plumbing was good in your house. That is quite a spread for a lot of folks.
What is on your mind tonight?
I don't know. Look, once we hit that live button, you never know. That's why we get people listening in.
All right, go Jackets.
There we go. Let's talk about this. It is the last home game this Thursday, and you guys have a chance to do something that hasn't been accomplished at Georgia Tech since your junior year, and that is go undefeated at home. Last time that was done was 1999. I believe that was your junior year. How much have you seen your players feed off the energy and the atmosphere Tech fans have created for you at Bobby Dodd Stadium, a Hyundai Field this year? I mean, we saw it for all 60 minutes and all 3+ hours against number 4 Miami, but how much has that meant to your players and your staff drawing from that energy? And I know you want to do that one more time this Thursday.
Man, it's been so awesome just to have the buy-in from the fans, the students in particular. I mean, it's been awesome to see. And look, you don't need 150,000 12th men. You just need one to be the 12th. And our collection of students, when they come to the games, they get there early. They stay the whole time. They've truly been able to help us affect the outcome of football games. And they're a huge part of the reason why we've had the success at home that we have. And
we saw thousands of those. Maybe some of you here at Hattie B's who joined the celebration on the field after the game. I know you have a piece of the goalpost from the '99 Georgia game in your office. Will that be getting a companion soon, courtesy of the Georgia Tech students after the Miami game?
It's in there.
Oh, love it.
So it's. I don't want to do anything with it, but it's sharp now. I mean, it's all jagged and whatnot. But yeah, they brought a piece up.
I love it, and a memento well deserved. We got a lot to talk about. I know the rear view mirror can be a vanity mirror, and that can sometimes be to the detriment of a team. But
I love that.
Yeah, this is the first time that we get to talk to you on your show, at least, about that Miami game. It was a resilient performance defensively, and it was a resourceful performance offensively. And let's start on that side, because you decided to alternate between Haynes King and Aaron Filos, sometimes between series, sometimes between snaps, and you wind up rushing for 271 yards against a Miami team that came in 8th in the nation in stopping the run. Can you take us behind how that game plan took shape over the preceding 2 weeks, and what made you believe that using Aaron and Haynes in that way could keep a very stout Miami defense off balance?
Yeah, well, I mean, we really had no other option. So we did have the added time. It's not as easy as when you get a different. I mean, the offense is built around the quarterback, right? And they all have to operate, everything. But there's some things that have been built around Haynes, and it takes some time to be able to, build out some other things to incorporate other player, especially at the quarterback position. So, fortunately we had a bye week. We were able to really put our heads together and find out what was the surest way for us to be able to go in and have an opportunity to win the game. And, that's what we did. We knew what their strengths and weaknesses were and what the issues were going to be. But look, and it truly was a game-time decision with Haynes, but I can tell you right now that there was zero chance Haynes King was not playing for another week.
Oh, you tell his presence out there, the way it gave a lift to your guys psychologically. Now, Miami, though, at a certain point, they knew the run would be coming. And, you don't need to know for a Miami team to stuff the run. They've done that all throughout the season. So what allowed you guys to still stay so consistent, so effective, when clearly that was going to be the priority in your offensive game plan, how you wanted to move the ball downfield?
Yeah, well, first off, it comes down to the building of the plan, putting the plan together during the week. But it's the buy-in from the players. They have to trust the plan. They have to believe in the plan, right? And even when things might not go your way, right? They have to believe in the plan and the adjustments that the coaches are then going to make with them, right? Because if they don't believe in it, it shows really fast. And we were able to have some success. We hit some of the right calls at the right time. And I'm telling you, I mean, having that guy that can run back there, it's a equalizer for sure.
Yeah, no question. Obviously, Haynes was less than 100%, still grinds out 93 rushing yards, had a touchdown as well. And Aaron Filos with that dime of a pass in the red zone to Chase Lane for the touchdown. Now, defensively, look, that was a clinic by Tucci Main himself, Tyler Santucci. Miami came in, leading the nation in scoring offense. You hold them to half their average. They led the nation in total. What are you smirking at me for?
I'm not smirking. I'm smiling. I can't smile. I'm half full, not half empty.
Okay, well, I'm sorry if you feel insulted that I called your smile a smirk.
No, it was more the Tucci Main.
You like Tucci Main, don't you? I'm trying to get it to catch on. And look, you can call him what you want, but he called a heck of a game against Miami.
Yes,
they led the nation in total offense, scoring offense, third down offense. You hold them to season lows in points, rushing yards, total yards. Miami was converting 59% of its third downs coming in. That led the nation. They converted 3 of 10 against you. They had converted 10 of 13 fourth downs this year. They went 1 of 4 against you guys. What made that such a masterful game plan by Tyler to keep that Hurricanes offense off balance for long stretches of the day?
Yeah, I mean, he's a good football coach, and every week the players, they're growing in the system. They're understanding responsibilities more. But if you remember, if you go back 2 weeks, we talked about some of the patterns within their offensive play, and we recognized those, and we found some ways that we thought would be able to throw some of the rhythms and the patterns off, and fortunately it did.
And, of course, there was the strip sack by Romello Height. J.J. Vandenberg recovered it when Miami was trying to go for the go-ahead score. That's 5 sacks now by your defense over the last 2 games. How has that defensive line started to turn the corner these last couple of outings and play like a completely different unit than we may have seen even a month ago?
You know what's crazy about that is, with the defensive line, the more they start to trust the big picture and how they fit into the big picture and don't try to force themselves to make plays, the more plays come to them. And I thought the defensive line was one of the most unselfish. Not selfish. One of the most unselfish groups, that I'd seen in a long time on Saturday.
Yeah.
The way they did their job, and I think if you look at the stat line, I think there was like 4 tackles and whatever. But look at what the linebackers did. Our linebackers combined for over 20 tackles, and our safeties combined for over 20 tackles, which that's the first time in a long time I can say the linebackers have hit that mark, and that's what the game plan was. It was for the safeties and the linebackers to be able to fit the runs, and the safeties fit off of them, and then let the nickel and the corners do their job and cover, and it takes the defensive line doing their job for that to happen. So the unselfishness, and then it allows them then to have things come to them.
Yeah, a lot of guys did their job, and the results showed on the scoreboard. 28-23 for Georgia Tech's first win over a top-5 opponent in 15 years. But like Brent said, it is on to the home finale little more than 49 hours from now, Thursday night, 7:30, Tomies Leathers, your Yellow Jackets take on the North Carolina State Wolfpack. We're just getting underway. We are live tonight at Hattie B's in West Midtown for another live edition of the Brent Key Coaches Show, and we'll be back right after this on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Here comes the Ramblin' Wreck. My family and I love watching Georgia Tech football. Though it's hard to choose between the big screen at home and the excitement of being in the stands. Either way, Scana Energy's part of the action as a proud partner of Georgia Tech. So join Scana and my family in cheering on the Yellow Jackets this season. Sign up with Scana today and get up to $100. Call 877-GO-SCANA or visit scanaenergy.com/jackets for details. Limited time offer, terms and conditions apply.
Atlanta's own New Realm Brewing Company is the official craft beer of Georgia Tech Athletics. In the stadium and around ATL, you can find New Realm's delicious Georgia Tech collaboration brews, Ale of an Engineer Golden Ale, and Hella Vienna Lager. Find them near you today by using the beer finder at newrealmbrewing.com and visit New Realm's Atlanta Brewery at 550 Somerset Terrace on the East Side Beltline Trail.
Play Quick Win from the Georgia Lottery and you can win the Progressive Jackpot instantly. Because lightning fast is the best way to win.
I'll be administering your driver's test today. Please start the car, sir.
Let's do this.
Slow down!
But not the best way to take a driver's test.
I am taking points off for this!
With new games and new ways to win, it's the fastest way to win a jackpot. Play the Quick Win family of games from the Georgia Lottery. Play online or at retail. Play responsibly.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Hey, it's Cellini telling you new windows and doors change everything, keeping your home at the perfect temperature year-round, lowering your power bills, improving curb appeal, and increasing the value of your house immediately. It's time to call Window Traditions, installing best brands like Anderson. Window Traditions in Johns Creek, Nashville, and Knoxville.
For windows and doors, make the right decision. Call Window Traditions.
WindowTraditions.com.
I want to fight for my children. I mean, they're the most important thing in the world to me.
Hi, this is attorney Sarah Hobson from Hobson & Hobson. Our experienced family law attorneys are here to help you in your child custody case. You're not alone. The Hobson & Hobson team is ready to fight for you and your loved ones.
You need the best legal team on your side to win. Don't wait until it's too late. Visit areyoubraveenough.com to schedule a consultation and learn how we can fight for you.
Stream every Georgia Tech game totally free on the all-new Fan app. Download it now for Apple or Android and listen to the Jackets anywhere.
There's
There's no better source on Georgia Tech football than our team of Yellow Jacket insiders. This is the Coach Brent Key Show, driven by Hyundai on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Take a taste as we welcome you back. Another live edition of the Brent Key Coaches Show. Tonight we are at Hattie B's in West Midtown. If you live here in West Midtown, was able to walk over. Thanks so much for joining us. Got some of the regular faces here joining us as well. Look forward to seeing all of you at Bobby Dodd Stadium at Hyundai Field Thursday night, 7:30. Tommy's Leather and the home finale for your Yellow Jackets as they take on the 5-5 at North Carolina State Wolfpack. I'm Andy Demetra. He's Brent Key, and we're here kind of like a fireside chat here at Hattie B's. But I know you got some. You can speak from the diaphragm, Brent, as we saw at practice. So you might have to project a little more here for the fans here in attendance at Hattie B's.
Speaking of fireside chat.
Hey, now.
All right, is that better?
There you go.
All right, question, can you still hear me through this? All right, there we go.
Perfect. There we go. Look, I know you can talk loud.
Those are hot.
Yeah, those. Yeah, you can tell. The darker the tender here at Hattie B's, the more you are in a vulnerable place. But I appreciate that. You're gutting it out here. Thursday night, we know that those hold a mystique at Georgia Tech and at Bobby Dodd Stadium at Hyundai Field. Your last Thursday night game at Georgia Tech, I was looking this up.
I got hurt.
I was going to ask you about that. It was the win over Virginia in 2000. I'm going to ask you for your recollections, but evidently they're not necessarily good ones.
No, it was 35-0.
Yep. That you liked.
Kelly Campbell scored on a jet sweep reverse play early on in the game. But I did. I got hurt. Not injured, but hurt.
Yeah.
So I was good.
Okay. So you hurt, but you left, but you never came back.
Correct.
Okay. But you still got credit for the start, and you still remain among the record holders at Georgia Tech for most career consecutive starts among offensive linemen. So there you go.
I think I know where we're leading into with that.
Well, a little later on. We'll talk about Jordan Williams in a moment.
All right.
It is senior day on Thursday night. Make sure you get into your seats early. We got 23 seniors that will be getting their well-deserved plaudits from you fans. Jordan Williams among them. But in the Miami game, it was your true freshman, Aaron Philo. He made some really tough third-down completions. One to Malik Rutherford, one to Bailey Stockton on a 3rd and 17. They connect for 27. And then there was that touchdown pass to Chase Lane. He threw that perfect lob. Chase dove underneath it. Those 3 completions from Aaron Philo. Do I need to ramp this question up a little more to catch your breath here with the sting?
No, you're good.
Okay, good. How did those throws, though, Coach, illustrate Aaron's savvy and what makes him a guy who, though so young, can handle Buster's system, handle those types of moments?
Well, he's got great anticipation. He's got great touch on the ball. And he's only going to get better as time goes. So, you don't throw for as many yards as he did in high school and not have something to you.
That play that he had on Chase Lane, what did he diagnose pre-snap that allowed him to immediately go to Chase and feather that into him? Because that was a 2nd and goal or a 3rd and goal?
It was 3rd.
3rd and goal. I mean, so that was the difference between 7 and 3.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was a 3-by-1 set. You're asking me a question from 2 weeks ago now.
I know.
Basically, he had a fade. He had a go route, and it was a win it route. So he saw the 1-on-1 matchup and faded away towards the end with the pressure and was able to get it up and above. And great catch by Chase.
Oh, it was unbelievable. Yeah, I had to review that, but it looked pretty good on the field. And I saw Chase underneath Bobby Dodd Stadium this afternoon. He had a big smile still from catching that because his 2 touchdowns this season were late in ball games that you lost. But he said, man, I could finally dance after a touchdown. And he had every right to certainly do that, his 3rd of the season. I thought...
He's got a pretty good dance.
Does he now?
I don't know. I saw it in the game.
Yeah, him and Malik, they got some moves there. They got some good choreography when they visit the end zone, and both of them did that against Miami.
It is not easy to play the game of football and to put the preparation you have to put in. And then on top of that, going to Georgia Tech and playing football there, right, I want these guys to have fun when they're on the field. All right, to get the greatest education in the world. All right, to come to play football and play winning football like they did on Saturday. Right? they deserve every right to go out there and have fun with it, all right, because it is a game. All right, we work our tails off, all right, and all I ask are these guys to go out and play loose and confident, have fun, but with great discipline.
Awesome. I thought one of the appreciated position groups in that Miami game were your cornerbacks. You didn't have Warren Burrell. You didn't have Saeed Gibbs. Rodney Shelley stepped up, played a lot more snaps. So did Zachary Toby. We'll talk about Omar Daniels in a moment. But you're facing Cam Ward, who entered that day as a Heisman frontrunner and still remains a Heisman candidate.
Right.
340-some-odd passing yards per game. But your defensive backs, without some guys who had handled a heavy snap load this season, seem to have held their own.
Yeah, I mean, we got word during pregame. I mean, we come off the field 22 minutes before kick for after pregame warmups, and first thing I go through, the staff comes together, and first thing I go through is injury report, and we get word now that Warren's not going to go. Well, the whole game plan was built around Rodney playing, a kind of a trail man technique and playing man on Restrepo the whole game. Well, now, you're talking 20 minutes before kickoff, we get told Warren can't go. Rodney has to bump out to corner. All right, so now the whole game plan of how we're going to play Restrepo, all right, and we take CP, Clayton Powell-Lee, and bump him down. He plays nickel for the first time all season.
Wow. And Xavier Restrepo, he only led the ACC in receiving yards per game and receiving touchdowns. You have to adjust that on the fly. And so, that leads me to Clayton Powell-Lee, playing nickel for the first time this year. I'm not sure how heavily he had repped at that position in practice all season. But he steps in under fire, under siege, and seems to have held his own too.
He did, and that's why we rep guys in different spots early in the season. All right, not just in practice, but really get those guys, especially on the back end. You get a lot of guys experience playing because you get to this point in the season. All right, you got to have different combinations, different people in there, and injuries are part of it. So if those guys had not gotten the experience early in the season to be able to go in and do different things, different spots, different areas, I don't think they've been able to have the success that they did.
Omar Daniels had a career day. 8 tackles, pass breakup. He was all over the field. That form tackle he had on Elijah Arroyo, the tight end, was textbook. Omar, his performance, what he meant to the defensive effort, as we do have a speaker, so you can probably lower that volume to your delight here. Save that for the officials on Thursday.
All right, there we go.
Oh, look at that. That's a smoky, sultry voice right there, if I've ever heard it.
Stop. All right, so back to your question.
Omar Daniels.
All right. Really proud of Omar. Really, really proud of the way he stepped in, because he played nickel early in the season, played a little bit of corner. We bump him back to safety because of the whole transition with Rodney going to corner and Clayton, CP going down. Omar got thrust into it, and I mean, did an unbelievable job. I mean, the sure tackling that he had in the game. He wasn't just once, twice. I mean, it was multiple occasions. I mean, he had sure one-on-one tackles, and that's something that we've really been working on. I don't care where you are in the season. You can always get better, and we'd struggled at times, previous, probably, a couple, 2 or 3 weeks prior to some of those one-on-one tackles, and we'd spent a lot of time on that over the bye week, a lot of time with those guys in different drills and drill work and team group settings, with our tackling, and thought they showed up on was that 2 weeks? Showed up 2 weeks ago on that Saturday and did a nice job.
Yeah, a lot of defensive highlights that drew the approval of the crowd at Bobby Dodd Stadium at Hyundai Field. Looking forward to joining you again for the last time in the regular season at Bobby Dodd Stadium at Hyundai Field. Georgia Tech, North Carolina State, Senior Day, home finale, ACC finale, chance for Georgia Tech to finish its 2024 ACC season at a record of 5-3. Tommy's Leather is at 7:30. We'll take another timeout. We are live tonight at Hattie B's in West Midtown. It's the Brent Key Coaches Show, and it's back after this on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Hi, Georgia Tech sports fans. GT grad Charlie Reimer here. If you haven't visited Macklemore, what are you waiting for? We're located on Lookout Mountain, just a 2-hour drive north of Bobby Dodge Stadium. You know us for our highly acclaimed golf course, but we offer so much more. Stress-free living above the clouds, 60-mile mountain views, and early spring, our luxurious Cloudland Lookout Mountain Hotel opens, and just wait till you see our new golf course that begins play late next summer. Check us out at themacklemore.com. Go Yellow Jackets!
Associated Credit Union's Prosper checking account earns more than 40 times the interest rate paid on the average checking account nationwide. That's more cha-ching in your checking account each month. With no minimum balance or monthly maintenance fee, this is the perfect checking account for adding more cha-ching each month. Associated Credit Union is here to help you live, bank, grow, and cha-ching. Certain terms and conditions apply. Learn more at acuonline.org/prosper checking. Federally insured by NCUA.
It's Chuck for WiseGuysLights.com. Two things may be true as of today. One, those yards you see that have been professionally decorated for the holidays, you really do think they look awesome. And two, you may think it's already mid-November. Too late for me to get that in my yard for this year. I can help you with the second one. It's easy. Go to WiseGuysLights.com right now. You will get scheduled, your design will get created, and your yard will be awesome this holiday season, guaranteed. And with the purchase of roofline lights for your yard, they'll throw in a wreath for free. Book today. Wise Guys Lights will have your yard transform everything you want by Thanksgiving, courtesy of WiseGuysLights.com.
Every Georgia Tech game is on Atlanta's flagship station for the Yellow Jackets. This is The Fan, 680 and 93.7 FM. The latest on Yellow Jackets football. It's the Coach Brent Key Show, driven by Hyundai on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Hyundai and Georgia Tech together in tech innovation and progress with the new EV plant in Georgia. Hyundai looks forward to growing ties with the Institute and the community. Together, we're building the future of technology right here in Georgia. Hyundai and Georgia Tech. It's our journey. He's Brent Key. I'm Andy Demetra. Great to be with you on a special Tuesday night edition of the Brent Key Coaches Show, live from Hattie B's in West Midtown. Well, that Nashville Hot was putting up a fight on you in that last segment there, Brent.
It was warm.
Okay. You gonna tackle that other tender or what?
Yeah, when we're done.
Okay, good. You learned your lesson, though. No tender.
It's not a lesson learned. Why is there always got to be a lesson learned?
Well, because you're a coach, you know.
Okay.
Everything is a lesson. Everything's a teachable moment.
Yes, sir.
No Nashville Hot during segments.
Yes, sir.
There you go. How about this news? Jackson Hawes, your tight end, accepted an invite to the Senior Bowl. What a wonderful recognition of what he's done, your grad transfer from Yale. How about this? He's the first Georgia Tech tight end to accept an invitation to the Senior Bowl since Billy Martin, 1964. His inline blocking, in addition to some of the catches that he's made coming off the line, the impact that Jackson has had on your offense this year, how would you describe that?
Wow, I mean, when you bring guys in like that, you hope they have what you see on tape, but you never really know how it's going to translate until you've been through a complete cycle with a kid. But Jackson came in; he had such maturity level. The way we were connected, I really trusted the person that connected us, and he had really good film last year. But when he got here, we're going through spring, going through preseason, and you're just like, wow, man, he's doing a lot of good things. But then that first game, second game hit, and you really saw like the versatility of him. Blocking in space, being able to come out of the backfield, play on the line of scrimmage, into the line, and then he gets injured. Has the high ankle sprain up at Louisville, which he played the entire second half on, by the way. And I mean, that's like those aren't fun. And played the second half at the bye week, then tries to come back for the Duke game. Attempts to go, can't go. So now he's back full speed now, and you're seeing really why everyone's so high on him and why he's got the Senior Bowl invite, and he's going to play in the National Football League for a good long time. And if he doesn't, or when he's done, he's going to be an investment banker.
Yeah. So he might have to take a pay cut to play in the NFL is what you're saying.
Yeah, he's got it going on now.
It's not just Jackson. The tight end group as a whole has gotten healthier. We saw Rylan Godey return. Josh Beetham was out for a while. He's back. And that seems to have had an effect on the efficacy of your running game, particularly versus Miami. We're running a lot of two tight end sets, and those guys were getting in and playing physical, right? I don't know what to make of that as face.
That's crazy to say when you get guys back.
Yeah.
You improve.
Oh, now you're just giving me the stone face. Was there credence to what I said, though, that
there
the
is.
tight end group has gotten healthier, and that's reflected in the running game?
We use tight ends in a lot of different ways, all right? And, whether they're out wide, they're split out wide, blocking on the perimeter, blocking internally. Right? And when you lose those, I mean, you talk about running game goes from an exponential amount of options in the running game to now not as many. I mean, look, there's if you take every alignment, every gap that's created on offense, there's something like 34 million different ways that a defense can align and that you can attack a defense. There's like 34 million. Okay, you take 2 of those guys away, now that's 3 gaps you've removed. Okay, so now that 34 million goes down to like in the thousands.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we had more options.
Yeah,
that was good stuff right there.
That was pretty good. What was that, permutations that you were talking about?
You have the words. I'll do them.
And not only words,
I'll do the computations.
Math words.
I'll do the computations.
I'm out of my elements. You talk about imposter syndrome in a room full of tech fans and tech grads. Me hanging on for dear life, maybe correctly saying permutation.
I can't spell anything without the red line that you get on your phone or on Word. I have to type stuff in my phone, spell a 4-letter word.
Yeah. Well, if you see the red line, you are not spelling words correctly.
Yeah, then you tap on it and it gives you the right way.
Oh, there you go. Technology is a great thing, isn't it?
I can do numbers.
It is.
Who else? Is anybody else like that? Anybody that you can do numbers and can't spell? Yeah.
Yeah. I am the complete opposite of that, which is why I'm doing what I'm doing. It is senior night. Like we said, 23 Yellow Jackets will get saluted in pregame, one of whom is Miles Brooks. And you've known Miles for essentially, 8 years since he was a freshman in high school?
Yeah.
I mean, your relationship with Miles dates back probably farther than any of those other seniors.
Yeah, so Miles was – Miles.
Yeah, we've gone through this. So his given birth certificate name is Miles. And the story that he told me was that one of his teammates in high school playfully started calling him La Miles. For reasons unknown, he liked it, kind of adopted it. Now he goes by La Miles. His license plate says La Miles. His social media says La Miles. But
Coach Key calls him Miles.
Coach Key calls him Miles because that is his government name. But, yes. So you knew him back when he was still just Miles.
Yeah, so when I was at Alabama, Jacksonville was my area recruiting, and he came up. Him and a couple of his teammates came up as 9th graders going into 10th grade for summer camp. He was 6 foot tall, and I've still got the workout sheet with the grade. He was 138 pounds, right, and he ran a 4.67 something 40. Right. For 138 pounds, that age, those were pretty good times, and we actually brought him off the field. Coach Saban offered him that day in the office and continued to recruit him, and then ended up coming here. It was just a perfect match of, I had a relationship with him. He's a very confident kid in the terms of he doesn't want to follow others. He wants to do his own thing and kind of be a trendsetter in that way. So I had a great relationship with him. He ended up coming here with us, and he's had some ups and downs. I mean, he's had a lot of injuries here in the last couple of years, and but you just talk about somebody that's all about the team and all about success at Georgia Tech, and is such a great representative of who we are as a school.
Yeah, even though he's been knocked up with injuries and so forth over the last couple of years, just the success of the safeties room and the DBs group, and that's a testament to LaMiles, because he's in every film session, he's in every position meeting, and that influence that he has, it's one thing to hear from a position coach or a head coach, but to hear some of that counsel from your teammates and the guys that you're in the foxhole with, that has an effect, and LaMiles certainly has left his imprint on those safeties and DBs, even though he may not have been playing necessarily at 100% health.
You're right. You know what's really cool about LaMiles? See there?
Yeah.
I said LaMiles. What's really cool is, every day there's so many things that come through your office as the head coach, and different things that you're working to solve, and people you're trying to help. And Miles Brooks never, not once, has he ever been in front of me, walked past me, and not asked me and said, "Are you good? How are you doing? You good, Coach?" And that means a lot. That really does. Everyone gets so self-centered about thinking about themselves and what they can do for themselves, but to have somebody like Miles, all right, who every single day, regardless of circumstance, asks if I'm doing good, that means the world. Mm-hmm. It really does.
Yeah, high-character guy in addition to being a quality player. Jordan Williams, ACC Offensive Lineman of the Week for his performance versus Miami. This Thursday will mark his 51st career start. That puts him one shy of the school record for career starts. Roddy Jones will have it for maybe at least another month, but I think Jordan is certainly threatening that. Jordan, a guy who has been a starter from the moment he set foot on campus back in 2020, opted to use his additional COVID year, and boy, durability, longevity, those are two hard traits to get as an offensive lineman. But can you share some insight into the personality of Jordan and your fondness that you have for him from one offensive lineman to another?
So Jordan's another one that started recruiting at an early age. When I was at the last place I was at, he was in 10th grade, and GA at the time, discovered him and brought him over to camp. And he ended up making the final five of in the O-line, D-line camp as a sophomore going into 11th grade. And another one just kept the relationship. Been through a lot of ups and downs with those guys, man. I really have. And Jordan, there's a special bond with those guys that coached as a position coach, and now you're seeing those guys getting ready to take the next step in their life. And a couple people have asked me how I'm going to feel on senior day, with those guys. And, it's always a little bit of an emotional time when you see those guys that have come through and are, playing their last home game at Georgia Tech. And those linemen,
yeah,
it's Jordan, and it's Jordan. Don't give me start thinking about these things. I'm going to talk about Jordan when he came in during COVID.
Oh, yeah. You shared that story at your press conference.
I did. So Jordan, we recruited him. He's about 320 pounds, coming out of high school. All right, well, in 2020, he enrolls early in January. We go through 6 days of spring practice. We get called in and say we're going on an early spring break. Pack your stuff. We don't know how long we'll be gone. Maybe a couple weeks. All right, well, 4 months later, we all know what happened, right? So during that time during COVID, we're checking up on our guys, seeing if they're, eating right, and, yeah, I'm doing my push-ups, I'm doing my sit-ups. Jordan shows back up, and if we'd had a cattle scale, I don't know if it would have weighed him. The scale we had went to 360, and it stopped, and was doing this number here. I'm like, what happened to you? I was like, you said you were eating grilled chicken the whole time. He goes, well, the chicken part was right, but
yeah.
Yeah, so ended up losing about 30 pounds, to get ready, to be in playing shape. And ended up starting as a freshman and really hadn't looked back.
Sounds like somebody who might have enjoyed his Hattie B's during that time as well.
J-Dub would. I mean, I guarantee he would. I know he does.
No doubt about it. Well, he's been eating well, and the ACC Offensive Lineman of the Week. He's been performing at a high level as well. He'll be one of those seniors honored before the game on Thursday. Got to hit another timeout. Again, we are live tonight from Hattie B's, West Midtown. Brent Key Coaches Show as we continue to count you down to Tomies Leather Thursday night. The Yellow Jackets and the NC State Wolfpack. We'll hit another timeout back after this on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
It's college football season, so you need all the energy you can get. Luckily, Georgia Power knows a thing or two about saving energy. We understand that energy costs are an important part of your budget. That's why we're dedicated to providing tools and assistance that can help make a difference, so you can save your energy for the game. Visit georgiapower.com/myenergy to learn more.
Atlanta's own New Realm Brewing Company is the official craft beer of Georgia Tech Athletics. In the stadium and around ATL, you can find New Realm's delicious Georgia Tech collaboration brews, Ale of an Engineer Golden Ale, and Hella Vienna Lager. Find them near you today by using the Beer Finder at newrealmbrewing.com and visit New Realm's Atlanta Brewery at 550 Somerset Terrace on the East Side Beltline Trail.
It's Dari from R.S. Andrews, and people always ask, what's the R.S. and R.S. Andrews stand for? R.S. means rapid service. I know what it's like waiting for a repair guy to show up, so I made sure when you call us, we have somebody ready to jump to action. Rapid service. Your AC needs to keep working for several more weeks, so if you're hearing a clunk, clank, or smelling some stank, we're ready to help. R.S. means rapid service. Schedule at rsandrews.com.
Georgia Tech men's basketball single-game tickets are now on sale. After home wins over Duke and North Carolina last year, head coach Damon Stoudemire and the Yellow Jackets are set to take flight and swarm the ACC once again. Kelly strides at the right sideline, sets up Coleman into the right corner, Reeves a three, good! And that was with a hand in his face. Don't miss a moment of the action in the Thriller Dome this year by getting your tickets today at RamlinRec.com/tickets. Sting 'em.
Planning to propose this holiday? Shane Company is ready to help you find your dream engagement ring. We handpick the most beautiful diamonds and colorful gemstones in all shapes and sizes. So when you walk in the door, you can trust your rock is in stock. At Shane Company, we've always sourced directly, cut out the middleman, and pass the savings on to you. We work with your budget, not against it. We'll also protect your ring for life with our free unmatched lifetime warranty. Come see us at shaneco.com and in-store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Entry Point Doors and Windows. The weather is changing. It's now time to pay attention to your home with Entry Point Doors and Windows. So jumpstart your curb appeal with new doors and windows from Entry Point Doors and Windows. Entry Point Doors and Windows is Atlanta's best for a reason. They've been locally owned and operated for over 20 years, and their team of industry experts offer the right doors and windows for your budget without the high-pressure sales approach. Schedule your free estimate online at entrypointatlanta.com. That's entrypointatlanta.com.
The Jackets only play here. We are the official home of Yellow Jackets football. 680 The Fan on FM at 93.7. Georgia Tech football continues to buzz. Now more of the Coach Brent Key Show, driven by Hyundai on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Yellow Jacket fans, be sure to visit GeorgiaPower.com/community to learn new ways to stay connected. Georgia Power, the official energy sponsor of Georgia Tech Athletics. Power on Georgia. Along with Brent Key, I'm Andy Demetra, live tonight, Hattie B's, West Midtown. Make sure you stick around and stay tuned in. The Good Word, featuring our good friends Chris Mooneyham, Justin Hanover, take over at the top of the hour from 7 to 8 p.m. 60 minutes of Georgia Tech football talk with Justin and Chris as they continue the preview of the Yellow Jackets and NC State Wolfpack. Officially, 23 seniors will be honored prior to Thursday's kickoff. Why don't we list them right now? Zeke Biggers, North Carolina native, by the way. Avery Boyd, LaMiles Brooks, Warren Burrell, Trey Cooley. Boy, we need to talk about Trey coming back and not a moment too soon in that Miami game with your backfield depleted. His first carries of the season. Your wide receiver, Trent Davis, Caleb Edwards, Weston Franklin, Henry Freer, Ryland Godey, Thomas Gore, Kevin Harris II. We had noted Jackson Hawes. Your wide receivers, Abdul Jannah and Chase Lane. Quarterback, Brody Rhodes. Defensive lineman Joshua Robinson. Your offensive lineman turned GA Will System will also be part of Senior Day. Micaiah Scott, your punter David Shanahan, Trinelius Tatum, your linebacker, Jordan Williams, he of the 50 consecutive or career starts, and your 26-year-old Sylvain Yunjuan. And you said your 4 captains for Thursday's game will be the 4 oldest players among those seniors.
Yeah, Jordan, Avery, Sylvain, and LaMiles.
Yeah.
You have LaMiles there, so it's LaMiles.
LaMiles, yes. And we will duly note him as LaMiles. Senior Day is also fun because it's an acknowledgement of how far some of your players have come. And nobody has come as far geographically or figuratively, I would think, than Sylvain. Came here in 2019 from Rossbrook, Belgium. And, boy, he was just chasing after Cam Ward all afternoon long in that Miami game. He's somebody who's come on playing arguably his most consistent and most productive football down the stretch of this season. He seems like just a really fun guy to have in your locker room, somebody who just brightens the atmosphere. I can already see that smile. What have you loved about being alongside, working with Sylvain these past 5-6 years?
He's so honest. Honest.
A guileless guy.
I mean, you don't have to ask him if he did something. He'll be knocking on the door of my office. Coach, I just want to tell you, I missed class. Oh, okay, all right. I mean, he's very, very honest with that, and he's such a good kid, and he's learned so much football. He'll tell you that he did not really know anything about the game until now, and it was just yesterday in practice. We're doing kickoff return, and Mo was working with him, and on kickoff return, and I said, Sylvain, did you know how to do that 5 years ago? Oh, no, Coach, no. Like nothing about the game. And to see how he, at 26 years old, is progressing and still developing and still getting better after such a rough year last year, getting hurt in the first game, it's been awesome to see.
He told me when he first arrived here, he didn't know what the field side and boundary side were on a field. He was in a room, and one of the assistant coaches drew the Y, which is the universal playbook symbol for a tight end. And Sylvain told me he had to shoot a hand in the air and says, Coach, what is the Y? I mean, that's how far he's had to come, and just his understanding of not just the playbook, but in basic football jargon as well was a foreign language unto itself for Sylvain.
It's that, but it's also when you're not certain about something, it's hard to speak up and be truly who you are. And he's got such great leadership qualities in him. And for the longest time, I was like, Sylvain, like, I know you believe in this or want to do this or you see it this way. All right, why don't you speak up and say something? He's like, well, Coach, I don't really totally understand the game yet, so it's hard for me to speak up and say something if I'm not confident in what we're doing out there. Mm-hmm. So it's been a lot of work with him, just saying, hey, look, if you believe in something, speak up, say it, do it, right? That's the mark of a confident man, and he's done such a great job with that.
The Sylvain Pain Train, as we sometimes call him, a.k.a. the Belgian Barbarian, Sylvain Yunju. Look, what? I thought that was pretty inspired.
That was good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, man, I'm just chasing. I'm chasing Grand Theft Alvarado. That's still my coup de grace here among nicknames. Should have copyrighted it. Should have trademarked it. If not,
we ought to do a contest in here of the over and under of big words.
Okay,
big words that Brent does not know.
How about? And you know what? I'm here to tell you, take the over every week. Trinelius Tatum is another guy.
You win.
Trent is a guy who is having his finest season. 47 tackles, third most on the team. He's had a career high in TFLs. And you said a couple of weeks ago, you take a lot of pride in players that you invest a lot of time in. It just seems like there were a lot of sort of inflection points maybe in Trent's career here. Was that another big word?
No.
Okay, good. Well,
inflection
points in Trent's career where things could have gone off course, but he kind of stayed with it, and he's been able to put together a great senior season and really transform his future for himself. Can you just speak to Trent's journey and just that hard-earned maturity that he's gotten over the years to now put everything together on the field, off the field, and be a representative of a Tech man for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny we bring him up because just pulling out of the facility on the way over here, he was walking in, and he was walking in to go watch film and study the game plan, study the NC State, and it just to see that part of him, to see him on Saturday, the confidence he had, and even when he might have had a bad play or we had a bad series, bad drive, just the confidence to stick with the plan, and Trent's going to walk across that stage. And I've told Trent I will be the first person he sees after he shakes President Cabrera's hand and gets that diploma in the springtime, because I am so proud of that guy. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Take everything on the football field out of it. All right, to see Trent graduate from Georgia Tech will be one of the highlights of my coaching career.
Yeah, guy from Riverdale, Georgia. Got 8 siblings, he told me, and he's going to have an overflow crowd of family on that field on Saturday. And I think that's what gets lost sometimes in senior day is, the value and what players mean to you. It's not measured in statistics. It's not measured in how many varsity letters you earn. It's seeing their growth as kids when they come in and maturing into these people where, now that whatever life throws at you, whether it involves football or not, they're in good hands, and that they earned that opportunity to better themselves, and everything that they got culminating in senior day has been earned. And Trent seems like a good representative of that.
He is. We talk a lot about deserving something versus earning something. And, to put in the work, to put in the preparation, to put in the time, whether it be studying for class, whether it be preparing for a football game, right? When you do all the things the right way, you practice the right way, you study the right way, you prepare the right way, yeah, you can say, man, I deserve to win. I mean, I've done this. I deserve to make an A on this test, or I deserve to make a B, right? Well, all that does, it gives you the opportunity have success. Right? If you don't do those things, right, you got zero chance of winning on Saturdays. You got zero chance of having success on a test and making an A or B on a test. Right? But now it's up to them to go out and earn the thing. Right? That means you have to actually go through and take the test. You have to go execute and perform on Saturdays, and that's what I like about this team. I mean, they're doing what it takes, through the week, whether it be in school, whether it be on the football field. And I tell them, hey, you guys, you got to go earn it now, though, right? To deserve it and earn it, it's two big different things.
All right, you're going to certainly try to earn that win and close down Bobby Dodd Stadium in style on Thursday. Once again, counting you down, 7:30. Be in your seats early for Senior Day. Be there all the way through. Bundle up. You get some football weather at long last this fall for Georgia Tech and North Carolina State. We'll take our last time out here. Wrap up, preview a little bit of the Wolfpack, the challenge that they will present for the Yellow Jackets this Thursday night. Live from Hattie B's in West Midtown is the Brent Key Coaches Show on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
You know Georgia Tech football is exciting to watch. But here's something you might not see. Many of the mechanical and HVAC systems on Tech's campus that make game day and every day comfortable were built by the hands of a United Association Local Union 72 plumber, pipe fitter, or HVAC technician. We do important work that makes a difference. If you're smart, like making great money, working with your hands, and you want a career that makes a difference, join us. Visit UA72.org.
Don't you love the sounds of the holiday season? The bells, the sleighs. Woohoo! If so, your holiday's now even more magical because now during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, you can take home your favorite Hyundai with some of the season's greatest savings.
Drive away now in the Santa Fe with 1.99% APR for 72 months. Only during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Offer ends January 2nd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Do you wake up with joint pain? Does it hurt when you even do the most routine of physical activities? Have they told you it's time for knee or hip replacement surgery? It's Cellini here telling you to stop what you're doing and listen, because you deserve a life of comfort and ease with no surgery and no meds, and that's what QC Kinetics can do for you. The nation's leader in regenerative cellular treatments for joint pain, an all-natural approach that harnesses your body's own healing properties like a cut heals itself in the body. That's what they can do for you with natural biologics. At QC Kinetics, the protocols developed by QC, life-changing. I know I've had a bad shoulder for 20-plus years. I'm 5 treatments in. I'm one of the tens of thousands of satisfied patients, and more are coming every day. And yes, you can have real lasting relief from chronic joint pain without the drugs, without the surgery, and without downtime. Discover your options with advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. The consultation is absolutely free. Call them today, 770-285-8026, 770-285-8026. Change your life with QC Kinetics, 770-285-8026.
Stream every Georgia Tech game totally free on the all-new Fan app. Download it now for Apple or Android and listen to the Jackets anywhere. There's no better source on Georgia Tech football than our team of Yellow Jacket insiders. This is the Coach Brent Key Show, driven by Hyundai on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Georgia Tech versus North Carolina State. Again, still a lot to play for this Thursday night against the Wolfpack, not least of which Georgia Tech with a chance to run the table at home for the first time since Brent's junior year, 1999. What a salute it would be to those 23 seniors to finish the night with one last win and close down ACC play with a victory over the Wolfpack. He's Brent Key. I'm Andy Demetra. Forecast calls for a high on Thursday of 53. Probably will dip into the 40s around kickoff, but I'm guessing the short sleeve hoodie will stay intact. There will be no long sleeves underneath that, Brent. We're talking lineman weather now, finally.
Yeah, and look, I mean, it's fluctuated a little bit. I mean, and I think the wind chill now is like 34 at kickoff, 35 at kickoff, and like down to 32. thing I'm more concerned about is getting out there and feeling the elements of the wind. I mean, they're saying sustained winds of 12 miles an hour throughout the whole night, and gusts up to 35. So that has a major effect now on the game and how we play the game.
Well, make sure you dress accordingly, and make sure, number one, that you pack up Bobby Dodd Stadium at Hyundai Field. Let's talk about this North Carolina State team. Like you, they also were off this past Thursday this past Saturday, I should say. Prior to that, fell to Duke in a game where they were stalled out a lot inside the Blue Devils' red zone. They have a true freshman quarterback now, C.J. Bailey, 6'6" kid. He's actually thrown a touchdown in each of the last 7 games. What are his strengths, and how have they kind of shifted the offense to maximize his talents?
Well, he's a good thrower, and he can run around. He looks to throw as he's running, which is always a problem with a kid like him. When he does take off and run, he's got ability with his feet. Offensively, they've done a lot to really put it in his hands and not have him have to make every play and have to win every game. And that's the mark of a good coaching staff. You don't necessarily always look at the scoreboard. You look at how the game is played. And when you look at NC State and look, they had, I think there were 4 or 5 in the red area last game. They happened to be field goals. They got stopped before they got in there. I mean, that's they held Duke to 31 yards rushing. I mean, you're talking. They're doing the right things. They've just had some, the injury bug in some key spots, and they're playing the freshman, and they're making sure that they don't have him have to win it every time. And look, they're still doing a great job time of possession, keeping the ball away from the opposing offense, right? And they're throwing the football, doing it. So they play solid special teams. They do a lot of things as a whole team, right, around the quarterback and what's best for him.
Not only did they hold Duke to a season low in rushing yards, they held the Blue Devils to 0 of 9 on third downs. What are their strengths defensively?
Well, you know where they're going to be. They run a 3-4 front, but they are aggressive. I mean, they play a lot of man coverage. They'll mix up a lot of cover 0, which means no high safety. All right, they're going to blitz from every side, every angle. There's going to be 9 guys in the box, and we got to do a good job of our responsibility, knowing who to block and how to block them.
Keep the heat on them, just like those Hattie B's tenders right there. Oh, you know a segue. You've been alongside me way too long.
But not long enough.
Now, we got one more time this season to do it. But for now, we will say good night. He's Brent Key. I'm Andy Demetra. Thanks so much for joining us here at Hattie B's West Midtown for this live edition of the Brent Key Coaches Show. We'll talk to you next time on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.